This compilation of archive film has been put together in the year 2000. It contains footage from as far back as the late 1920s, taking us through the war years and up to the present day. In the period there have been many changes, but perhaps the most significant occurred nearly 20 years ago in 1983, when the first girls started at Bootham. But let's go back to sport in 1928. Bootham's early distrust of competitive games had given way to enthusiasm by this time. Athletics had become a popular part of the sporting programme. Hurdling for style, as it was called, was introduced for the first time in 1933. Discus throwing, putting the shot, and all athletic pursuits were keenly embraced. Triumphing in the 440 yards race was Francis Wood, who was later carried shoulder high back to school. Old scholars often returned to compete against the school, and football matches seemed to be played in drenching rain throughout the 30s. Cricket, however, tended to share the sunny Quaker weather of the Whitsuntide reunion. However, the 1936 garden party was threatened with black clouds, yet nothing could dampen the conversation as old friends met. The Bootham hunt for food appeared to continue long after school days had ended. Here's the chairman of the governing body, Arnold Rowntree, affectionately known as Chocolate Jumbo, with fellow old scholars at the 1936 reunion. Headmaster Donald Gray presided over the opening of a new wing of the school in the summer of 1936. Proceedings began with the presentation on the master's grass of the sheep shearing scenes from Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale. The performers were all members of the lower senior, and very good entertainment they provided. Polixenes was played by a young Jewish refugee from Germany, Gerhard Lachmann Moss, later to become a renowned historian. A full repertoire of acting, music and Morris dancing followed. Then the new wing was opened by the Archbishop of York, William Temple. Donald Gray welcomed Dr. Temple and invited him to perform the official opening. After Arnold Rowntree had thanked the Archbishop, the headmaster led him to the new buildings. The architect was an old scholar, Colin Rowntree, whose father, Fred Rowntree, was joint architect of the main block after the fire of 1899. Donald Gray showed them round the new wing, comprising biology laboratory, a new natural history room and studio, as well as a metal workshop. Visitors then made their way to the swimming bath for the next part of the proceedings. The display team made their formal entrance, and once in the pool, performed their sequences with serious determination. Some in the audience were getting rather closer contact with the water than they had perhaps bargained for. Yet undoubtedly all appreciated a very fine display. High diving boards were outlawed in later years, and the costumes too speak of another age. A display of life-saving was entered into with gusto, and the luckless chap being rescued certainly showed very little sympathy for his predicament. But the rough treatment seemed to go down well with the audience. Daring displays of water gymnastics followed, all to general applause. Wave making continues today, and here we see it demonstrated to excellent effect. Bootham was a pioneer in efforts to integrate different social classes in an era when there was little opportunity for the various groups to meet. This lads' camp in 1933 was held at Paper Mill Farm, Thornton Dale. 30 boys from Burton Lads Club and Park Grove School camped with 20 Bootham lads. An account written at the time describes the happy shouts of brown-skinned boys in a vision of a wide sunlit valley with steep sides, woods in the distance, and old farms snuggling down on the banks of a stream. With enthusiasm and goodwill all round us, we are maintaining the traditions of Bootham School Camp. This account by W. Lloyd James concludes by saying, "We are proud to be in this tradition of promoting friendship between all classes of people. The torch of light comes to us from other people, we fan its flame and then hand it on." Came the Dawn, a film made in 1936, could perhaps be viewed as an early prototype of the promotional video. Indeed, at its first showing, old scholars record the suggestion that the whole show was organised to advertise the school, but the pill was so sugared as to be quite unrecognisable. Our stars are keen to show the preoccupation with getting up in time to get to the JB library in time for silence before breakfast. Their relentless hurry brooks no idlers in their headlong race through washing and dressing. The reenactment of a real-life accident where boys had crashed into a maid laden with a tray of crockery had to be rehearsed several times before the final take for camera. But oh dear, in spite of all the hurry, our heroes are late and are served the customary punishment of columns. Later film shows the same problem of punctuality. The early morning chores still form part of the routine. The ritual of weighing and measuring a boy's height, weight and chest measurements took place at the beginning and end of every term, and these records still exist in the archives. While other schools concentrated on a classical education, Bootham's curriculum had always included science. The second headmaster, John Ford, who had a deep love of nature, founded the Natural History Society in 1834. One of its later offshoots was the School Science Society.